here, since that's the front side, that'll be near the clock, and I should have the damage set correctly. Your singles life bar is the same as your simultaneous life bar. After you've gotten your singles life bar set up, copy and paste it into your turns life bar area. And basically everything should be the same unless you want to change the background. Here I did change the background. Most likely you will not need to. So I actually don't have the background parameters in here. I need to copy and paste that in. I'll redo this section later, but I'm just trying to show you what you need to do. Alright, since my sprite was 1,14 for the singles life bar, I want to make the turns life bar different and change it. Wait a minute, that's not right. It shouldn't be 1,14 up here. Apparently I put in the wrong sprite. It's supposed to be 1,0 for the singles background image, which is this, and it only has one slot for one portrait and two slots for the turns and simultaneous background image life bar. So I need to change all of the background bars to sprite 1,0. Wait, that was the simultaneous life bar. No wonder I messed that up. I was supposed to be up here. Don't get mixed up. That could be really problematic. So anyway, down here in the turns life bar, it should be sprite 114 for both P1 and P2. After you've gotten everything done in your simultaneous bar, the small modifications you might want to have made, it's time for you to go up to your simultaneous life bar. But first I need to tell you what the animations were for. What you do is anywhere you see a sprite extension, you can exchange it for an animation extension, which is ANIM, and just choose any animation number you want that you haven't used before. And in this case, it's 12 for the empty life bar. Go down to wherever you think you'll need to put your animations. You should probably put it at the end of whatever section you're on, or you can put it in the middle like I did. Now, you create a begin action number 12, and you might want to put a note or something to tell you what it is. So, when you revisit it, you won't start panicking because you don't know what an animation was for. These first two numbers are for the sprite number in the sprite group. So it was group 1, sprite 3 was the actual dead animation for the singles life bar, which is right here, and you see that I have the animation numbers right, sprite numbers right. Then the second two numbers are the second set of numbers are for the X and Y position. The first one's X, second one's Y. When you have a single sprite animation, it works about the same as the all set function above, which, let me just use this as a quick example of this offset function. It works pretty much the same as that. But when you have multiple animations, you can set the position differently in each animation like this. For each sprite, not animation. you can set the position differently for each sprite, and it would shift it up by 1 pixel in your animation. And then the offset up here would become a master offset that would move the entire set of animations that you have instead. This -1 is the amount of time that the animation, this -1 is the amount of time that a particular sprite will appear. -1 means it stays on forever. They're measured in game ticks, by the way, so 40 on here would be 40 game ticks. Now, the next thing you need to know is that you can flip animation vertically or horizontally by doing this, and all of these numbers need to have commas between them and letters. You can also flip it vertically and horizontally like this. However, whatever you happen to do, when you use the transparency modifier or modifying code here, you need to have 2 commas separating it you need to have 2 commas separating it from the last parameter. Now, AS, this number right here, basically tells you this number here basically tells you how transparent the image is, and this number tells you how bright an image is. If both of these numbers are 256, it's equivalent to A1, and it's very bright. It's about the same as Screen and Photoshop and other imaging editing programs. I'm going to make a quick assumption and say that a number of 128, which is half of 256, should be equivalent to an image that doesn't have any blendings modified. I would assume this is what your image would look like in your image editing program, and in Mugen or Fighter Factory without any transparency added. I'm going to assume that. I'm not for sure. Also, once you do that, you may notice that an image doesn't look good at like A, and I can't remember exactly what A1 is. I think A1 is like 256 here, and like this number is lower, or either it's this number that's lower and this one's 256. I can't exactly remember, but anyway, so the reason why these numbers are different is because I thought that the life bar data animation needed to be less bright than the healthy life bar, which is this one up here, and this is the damaged life bar, which I wanted to be the brightest of them all. So now that I've done that, let's take a look at what the life bar set looks like. I don't have any of these other files done. The only thing that's supposed to be done is the life bars. As you can see, I'm taking damage, and as to why the portrait is so large, I'll explain that a little bit later. But anyway, as you can see, the transparency has been set here, and pretty much looks good, and I'm taking damage. It's not exactly right because the life bar needs to be a little bit further to the right, but it's pretty good. And I think I've got the transparency the way I want it. Anyway, after that's done, you want to start working on your simultaneous life bar. Everything you did for P1 and P2 in your singles life bar, you're going to do again. unless you're using a life bar with a different width for your simultaneous life bar. Here you can see that these are my simultaneous life bars, and they have the same width as my singles life bar. You might be using life